Good morning and welcome to the Core Connection. I'm Mira Rubin here with you on Enlightened World Network. And today's topic is subtler energies, the forces that may be at work around us that we can actually shift and change to create greater balance and more alignment. So it should be a fun conversation. But before we get started, let's take a minute or two to get present. Let's take a deep breath in through your nose and hold it. And imagine clean, crisp oxygen flooding your lungs, flowing into your bloodstream, nourishing all your cells, all your organs, bringing vital life energy to your body and being. And as you exhale any tension, stress, negativity, fatigue. And now let's take another deep breath in through your nose and hold it. This time, imagine brilliant, bright light lighting you up from the inside out, illuminating, electrifying, and energizing all your cells, your molecules, your electrons, creating a brilliant beam of light and energy from your heart out into the world. And as you exhale any remaining tension, stress, negativity, fatigue. And now let's press our palms together. Vigorously rub your hands together to feel the friction, the temperature, the pressure, the motion, the tickling and tingling when you stop. And allow all those sensations to bring you present right here, right now, into this remarkable physical form that enables you to experience life. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So good to be here with you this morning. So it looks like we may not be showing up on Facebook, and I don't know why that is. Let's see. I don't know what Restream seems to be working. And let me see if I quit the Restream chat and come back. Maybe it'll help. I don't know why that would be. Doesn't look like we're live on Facebook. Let's see. Maybe we are. Let me check again. There we are. Okay. But I'm not seeing any comments. So just by the way, if you're commenting and I don't respond to your comments, it's just because I don't see it. So, oh, there we are. Good morning, Dido. Good. So I know we're live. I really appreciate that. Thank you. So today we're talking about subtler energies. And this is coming from a exercise sort of that I engaged in all of yesterday. So I have contracted a friend of mine who is very versed in biosignatures. This is a really interesting book. In fact, let me see if I can share it with you. Biogeometry signatures. And it's all about subtle energies and how these different patterns of these different biogeometry signatures can affect different responses in our bodies, in our physiology, and how we can use these patterns that are energetic patterns to help bring ourselves into balance. So this friend of mine is doing consulting in this area to help enliven people and their spaces and use their spaces to enliven them, to bring them into greater balance, greater sense of health and vitality. And so I have been using, there are different energy tools that are used to help bring these things in balance. And well, you know what? It's not unfamiliar. If you think about feng shui is creating balances, working with the energies within a space and making them more harmonious. And that's really what this is too. However, it goes to sort of a more specific and greater length than most of us have experienced with feng shui. I don't know enough about feng shui to know if it can go to these depths. Perhaps it can. But anyway, again, the book that talks about harmonizing the body's subtle energy exchange with the environment. It's pretty interesting, by Ibrahim Karim. It's pretty interesting. And if you've done anything with feng shui, years ago, I had my apartment feng shuied, and it's made a profound difference. But lately I've felt sort of a stagnancy, and it was a long time ago that I had the feng shui done. So I'm sure I've added things in that have challenged those balances. So anyway, one of the recommendations that I was given, well, several, is relating to my bedroom. There are these energy signature things that you put into the windows, the corners of the windows, to help balance the energy emanating and I guess going both ways. I don't know exactly. I'm still very much in the neophyte stage of learning this stuff, but also to clear stuff off my windowsills. So my windowsills were acting like extra shelves in my home, and they all had stuff on them, like a lot of stuff. One of them was a bookcase. One of them was a place where I kept all my supplements and things for crafting. One of them just had some ornamental elements, which I still have on one of the windowsills, but it's done in a very different way. And they also recommended that I get blackout curtains because, and you know, it's kind of an obvious thing. I have had issues sleeping, and the subtle lights that were coming through the windows, even at night, were enough to be disrupting my sleep. So I would wear a sleep mask, but that wasn't always feasible because of the temperature in the room, and I would sweat, whatever. So I spent the whole day yesterday clearing these things off, finding places for them, cleaning the windows, hanging blackout curtains, and the feeling of the room, the whole room just feels so different from being able to move all those things. And I think the inclination would be to believe that the reason it feels so different is because I opened up the space, and I made it feel less cluttered by moving all those things. But what if, and this is what I tend to believe, that it's not just the change itself, the vitality of change that is inherent with change, but what if according to these, to biogeometry, what if the relationships between things, the geometric relationships between things, has had a profound impact? So one of the cures, like you would think about cures in feng shui, if you're unable to, completely get rid of things on a surface, for example, is to shift the rotation of it. And why would that make a difference? But it does. So years ago, I took a course. I'm trying to remember what his name is. So hold on one second. I'm going to see if I can find this. So Richard Bartlett. Okay, this is really, really interesting. So Richard Bartlett was a chiropractor, and he started working with matrix energetics as something is what he developed, actually. Good morning, Rosalind. Welcome. So good to have you here with us this morning. I missed you at the beginning of the day, and I wasn't sure if we were live till Dido tuned in. It's great to have you with us. So I took a course with him, and we're looking at how part of what was going on with the work that he was doing was actually subtle manipulations of space and objects. And we did an exercise, and it was wild. It was wild how when we moved certain objects, placed certain objects, and then subtly changed their rotation, it dramatically shifted the energy, so much so that I remember there was one thing that we moved, and as soon as we moved it, I literally fell down. It was crazy. It was wild to have that profound an experience of the relationship of objects to one another on energy and interdimensional energy. It was wild. And I don't know that had someone told me, I would have believed it. I would have entertained the possibility, but had I not experienced it myself with such a dramatic reaction, I don't know that I would have believed it. And yet, even with that profound experience, somehow I forgot, or somehow I still have a little bit of skepticism around the power of placement. And it's funny, it's funny to say that, because I have these little collections of sort of altar pieces around my house. They're not, I don't know if I don't worship at them, I don't pray at them, but these collections of objects, like little statue of Buddha, perhaps, and a whole bunch of different minerals, crystals and such around it. And they're beautiful. And the thing is that I do carefully place all of those objects in relation to each other. So I guess on some deeper level, I'm still quite aware of the power of placement of these things and the angles that they relate to each other from. It's really, really fascinating that we do have the capability to attune ourselves more closely to these relationships. And when people have a deeply adverse reaction to clutter, for example, it may be that it's not just visual. I mean, it's likely that it's not just a visual discomfort that they experience, but an energetic discomfort as well. It may be that they're tuned into that energy in a way that they feel the disruption on a whole bunch of different levels, which, it's an interesting perspective, right? To think about having our spaces balanced or in harmony and with us creates a very different experience. And it's good morning, Robin. Welcome. So good to have you here with us. We're talking about subtler energies, like the energy of spaces, and how having our spaces balanced and harmonized impacts our being and even our physiology. And when there are disruptions in the space, they can make it harder for us to concentrate and to be productive, harmonized, aligned, all of those things. So I invite you to play with it because it's a fascinating awareness to cultivate. And I'm in a place where I'm getting deliberately working to become more attuned to energies and different dimensions of energy and consciousness. And so it was interesting because when my friend said, you need to get everything off the windowsills in your bedroom, and I was like, no way, that is not happening. There's no way that's going to happen. And yesterday it just occurred to me to do it. And one of the bigger motivators was putting up these blackout curtains, because there wasn't really a way with the things that on the windowsill when I was using them as shelves, there wasn't really a way to be able to have the curtains work. And I am prioritizing sleep, quality of sleep and quality sleep more these days, because it's been such an issue for me. Dido says, just curious, Dido here, what about plants on windowsills? I know, right? So in my office, I have a big plant on my windowsill. So there's no way the stuff in my office is coming off the windowsills, because I have a big plant and some sculptures, and then in another window I have an air conditioner and some sculptures, and another window. I mean, I have an exhaust fan for doing the encaustic work I do. So there's no way that stuff is coming off the windowsills in my office. My bedroom, I was able to do it, which is, I'll find out, Dido. I think there are corrections that can be made for plants on windowsills. But they also had me put these energetic tools in the corner of the windows. And we're supposed to be reevaluating things. We just are a little challenged in setting up a follow-up appointment. But I'm really, really glad I wasn't able to have that follow-up appointment before I got to do what I did in the bedroom, because it's very dramatic. It's a very, very dramatic difference. So it feels bigger even with the curtains closed, which is really weird. And the curtains are black. So the walls are like a burnt orange and the curtains are black. It doesn't really look like Halloween, even though it sounds like it would. But it's really remarkable that the room feels bigger and it kind of looks bigger to me. You would think it would close it in, but somehow it doesn't. And I'm sensing that that must be because of the energy of it. But as when I find out about plants on windowsills, I'll let you know. And I don't know if it means all windowsills everywhere are supposed to be cleared. I don't know. Again, very, very new to this. But it was not a nominal investment to get involved in doing this. And what's been fascinating is that I have encountered my resistance over and over and over. And this took me all day yesterday. So like into the evening, which is crazy, right? But I wanted to clean up, and I wanted to put things in a place that worked. I went through photographs that were in a cabinet that I had to clear out. It was one of those days that was without premeditation, actually, which is probably the best way to do it for me anyway. I just was like, okay, I'm doing it. And I didn't have the distraction of other things. And so the universe conspired to allow me to actually address this, which was pretty amazing, actually. And it's kind of like when you have the opportunity and the motivation, when opportunity and motivation meet, to be able to clear out a closet, for example. That's a wonderful thing, right? And the feeling afterwards is I don't know about for you, but for me, like a feeling of liberation and more lightness. So I had I had so many supplements that I've been holding on to for forever. And so I purged a pile of those, and it was a good thing. It feels good. I feel lighter. So that's pretty exciting stuff. And it's funny because it can be so simple. Rosalind says, part number 1 of this video series explains how to sensitize your hands to feel energy. That's very, very cool. I have a very simple technique to be able to sensitize your hands to feel energy. And part of it is what we do every morning here is rubbing your hands together. This is the coolest thing. And I've taught so many people this, and it really makes a difference. You rub your hands together, and then they're buzzing after that. And so you can hold, I don't know what's in the video, but you can hold an energy ball and just create that energy ball. And slowly, as you compress it, you can feel the resistance, and you can then try to enlarge it slowly, and you can feel it expand, and keep playing with the size of it. And if there's another person around, you can have them pass their hand through, and they'll feel the energy. Plants love this energy. And you can use it to help heal plants. You can use it to heal other people, to move energy. So here's the trick, and this is really important. And I started out with all of this other dimensional stuff. You actually can probably feel the heat in your hands. You might feel like a magnetism, a buzzing. But I started out with all this transformational stuff with energy work. And you might also feel your hands getting hot. And so the thing is, you don't want to be using your energy. And this is an important thing, because if you're expending your energy, what's going to happen is you're going to think about it. You could be like creating a vacuum, right? So that you're putting out all this energy, and as you have put that energy out, then when you're done, you're sucking in energy. that's somebody else's energy potentially. And it's not uncommon that lots of healers get afflicted with all kinds of conditions after working on other people. And it's because what you need to do is be a channel from above, from the skies above, from the earth below, and allow that energy that you're pulling in from the universe to move through your hands. So you become a hollow bone. The hollow bone allows all that energy to come through you, and you're a funnel for it. And you just want to be able to move that energy and allow the energy and the person receiving the energy to do the healing. It's not you, it's a vehicle. You're a vehicle of it. And at least that's what I've discovered over years and years of working with this, is that's the safer way to do that, because then you're also healed and empowered with that energy of the universe moving through you. And you're not creating a vacuum of any sort. So you're just allowing all this amazing energy to be moving through you to the other, and that then they can receive that as they choose. So the more open a channel you can be for that, the more effective it will be, and the more revitalizing it'll be for you as well. So yeah, anyway, subtle energies, pretty cool stuff, right? So I invite you to just sense into arranging some things, and play with moving them around until you get sort of a jolt, like that's where it belongs. And that's the angle that it belongs. And those are the relationships of the things to each other. Check it out, try it out, see how you can cultivate your sensitivity to the subtleties. So that's it for today. I'm Mira Rubin. Fun way to start a new week, right? Playing with energy. I'm live here each weekday morning on the Enlightened World Network YouTube channel and Facebook page at 9 a.m. Eastern. And I invite you to check out the other awesome programming on Enlightened World Network and Enlightened World Living. And it's such a delight and privilege always to be sharing these experiences, conversations, ideas, growth, transformation together. And until next time, so much